Hey guys, this is Jim, K4YCD, and you're watching FEP Labs Radio. Thanks for stopping by. Quick video today to show you a kit I bought off of the Amazon, and I'll put a link to this below. I bought this. This is a desoldering kit, and desoldering is exactly what it sounds like. It's for removing solder from components. And this little kit comes with several things in it, and I wanted to share with you what all is in it and what you use them for. So the first thing we have is some desoldering wick, and this is copper braid, and this is designed for smaller things to desolder. And what you would do is heat up your work in this, and the solder will wick up into the brass or the copper braid, and then as you work, you just clip it off and discard it and do it all over again, just heating everything up and letting the solder wick into this braid. And it does that through capillary action. So this kit came with, as you can see, about six rolls, math is hard, 6 rolls of desoldering braid. This also came with a solder sucker. And the way this thing works, this is a piston that drives down in there and locks, and then you put this tip right here against whatever you're trying to desolder, and you press the button and it pulls a vacuum and sucks up the solder, also known as the solder sucker, right? And it's got pretty good vacuum. And of course you would heat up the work area. You have this thing armed, and then as you heat up your work area and you've got a puddle of solder, you put this thing right up against it, smash the go button, and it slurps up your solder. And it's fairly high compression on that thing, and it does a good job. And I've had one of these before. It's probably 30 or 40 years old, and it finally croaked. So, I think the spring broke in it. So I said, well, I need to buy a new kit, and this kit looked like a decent deal. This also comes with soldering paste and an applicator for it. So soldering paste is something you can use for a reflow station, a hot air reflow station. And this gives you some information about how to use the soldering paste with surface mount devices, which is basically what it's for. And then the heat profiles that you would use based on different kind of solder that you're using. So some of this is based on the solder type, and then also I believe those are surface mount. I don't know what that number is. That looks like a formulation. So anyway, these 3 different profiles, and that is what you need to use for this stuff. And what you do, this comes with a couple of tips here, and these go on the end of this syringe, which I haven't taken the cap off because I'm not using this yet. And they just screw on that, similar to the way a paramedic would use a syringe. It's the same kind of deal. That's called a Luer lock, by the way, L-U-E-R. There's your real paramedic fact for the day. And then this piece goes inside there, and you use this, and that goes in there and fastens in, and then your work piece is laying out, and you press this and ease out solder paste all over where your component is going to go. And then you take a pair of tweezers, especially if you're using surface mount devices, and place it on the solder pads where you've squirted out a little bit of this. Then you take your hot air station and heat up the solder paste until it flows. That is based on this chart. And then take the heat off, the solder dries, hardens up, and you've now done some surface mount devices. So this kit is kind of a little bit of a 2-in-1 thing. 2 different ways to remove solder, plus solder paste to use for a reflow station. And as I said, I'll put a link in the description below with where I got this. I'm sure it was from Amazon. Everything I own except my wife and daughter came from Amazon, I believe. And this is a nice little kit, and I don't think it was very expensive. It might have been, I don't know, $15 or so, maybe, something like that. Not real pricey. It may have been less, I'm not entirely sure. In any case, that's the pieces of the solder sucker kit, and I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I'll probably do a video in a couple weeks. I have some old boards from a TiVo power supply that I want to practice with, and we'll take a look at that, and I'll show you this stuff in action, the solder sucker itself as well as the solder braid. In any case, that's all I've got in this video, guys. 73, have a great one.